of new credit. Going to the store and getting 15% off your new purchase because you opened a card. If you've done a lot of those in the last 6 months, that's the window of impact on new inquiries, pursuit of new credit, asking a lender for a new loan. How many of those have been opened? Because you could have had, you wanted the 10 to 15% off the new purchase, but it didn't happen because they wouldn't give you that credit. So you could have an inquiry for something and not have a trade line opened, trade line being a new lender or new credit card. And how many months has it been since the most recent one? If it's been more than 6 months, then that maybe you open a new cell phone, then that's going to have little to no impact on the score. If it's been just last month, yes it will. Inquiries. What is an inquiry? Anytime someone runs a credit check on you, that is an inquiry. Now, there are good inquiries and they're neutral. They don't call them bad. Well, they're, what is it? I'm sorry. Good inquiries, yeah, neutral inquiries. Correct. I have to look at my notes. If you're looking for a home or a car, if you do it within a certain time frame window, it only counts as one. And yes, that's not always been the case. As car dealers, you'd go to get a car, and maybe you had some difficulties with getting financing. They could send your credit or request for credit to several lenders to try to get you approved for a loan. It could be 5 or 6, depending on what their in-house financing companies are. So that could have a huge...
I had one dealer sent to 12 different lenders in one day. So behind the scenes, they are doing a lot.
Okay, so if we think 12 lenders times 5 points, that's 60 points. So if you were in that average point range, you could drop really quickly depending on where you were falling in that 60-point range.
So you're saying that every inquiry drops you 5 points?
It varies about that.
Okay.
But in car shopping and mortgage shopping currently, if you do that within a 14-day window, it only counts as 1. The credit agency sees it coming in. The car dealers, the mortgage companies, they have to code, or they have a code when they're sending them to the credit file, which the credit agency can identify. This person is shopping for a car. This person is shopping for a mortgage. But try to stay within the 14-day window. Because it was until most recently, like January, that you had like a 30-day window, but that's been shrunk down. It started years ago with 14, then it went to 30, and now it's back to 14. Neutral inquiries are your report, your request for your report. They don't count anything. They show up for your eyes only on a credit report. You would be able to see it. Lender's not going to be able to see that you just filled your report yesterday. It won't show. Pre-approvals. We're not getting so much of those, are we? Asking for new credit cards in the mail. Those will show on your credit file as a request for your credit report from that particular card company. They don't have any impact. And then the periodic reviews, the ones that you have a credit card and that credit card company is reviewing your credit on some kind of periodic basis. I have Capital One. They look at my credit report every month, every 30 days. It's standard for them. So you see those, nobody else does. Credit inquiries also show on your report for 24-month rolling period. They come and they go in the 24-month. If you haven't had anything in 6 months, there's not going to be anything on there that impacts your score. But if you've had inquiries within the last 24 months, they will show there. And it'll be probably very few people that won't have something. Either you generated an inquiry because you asked for your report, or someone reviewed your credit that you have, that you do business with currently. What can you do to improve your score? If you're in one of those small ranges where something, that unexpected hit and drops you down, there are things that you can do. And in your packet, there's a front and back, that pretty much covers these things, but I only put the improve on the, slide. Limit the number of open accounts to improve your score. Pay on time. If you can only send the minimum, make sure it gets there on time. And you're going to have to be very diligent in getting it on time, because most credit card companies are changing to 25-day billing cycle. What month has 25 days? Okay, so your due date falls differently every single month that comes around because of that. So you do have to be careful. I had a Sears card, it's probably the oldest file on my husband's account as well as on mine. And if you have husband and wife, you each have a credit file. The oldest one on our credit report. I always paid it on the 11th of the month. Had it even set up in bill pay. Okay, I look at that online and I see that says I owe $39 and I have a $40 late fee. I went, what? I called them up and I said, what happened here? This is paid and I pay it on the 11th every month. Oh, we changed to 25-day billing cycle. This month your bill is due on the 7th. And I said, well, I want you to reverse that late fee because this will never happen again. They did reverse it, but I mean, I had a balance of $79, $40 late fee. Yeah. Don't transfer balances frequently, especially if you're opening up something new. Keep the balance that you owe significantly lower than what your available is. Again, the capacity. And limit the number of credit applications that you make. That's 15% off your purchases today is very tempting. I know, I had that. And they are very convincing because, you know, they have a quota based on how many new accounts that they can get. I've been there, I know. So just refrain from doing that if you're trying to improve your score. Yes?
Comment, I guess. I know that GE Online, I don't know if you've heard of them. There's some kind of bank, but they offer a lot of retail cards. You know, like, not dealers, but.
Betsy's nodding her head.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw,
They have
I've got like.
several different, I have one card that's served through GE, like GE Money Bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make your payments.
I've got 3 different retail cards paid to GE. I
They're all-
didn't realize it, I'm thinking I'm paying to like, you know, like Victoria's Secrets and, I think Bell's is another one.
Right.
And, Dillard's has American Express, but I don't know if it's H.H. Gray or, but.
Somebody else. Well, it's like they have their business, but they're not able to hold those accounts in-house. So they get someone else to service their charge accounts for them. And that's why they're all falling under that one particular card, being branded GE, but it's actually another smaller store.
There's several, like HSBC, Household Bank.
Oh, yes.
Company, they service quite a few retail cards.
Well, and actually, more the sport vehicles. My son bought a four-wheeler, Lord, and that was financed through HSBC. Okay,